This episode of Chins and Giggles is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. From tranquil villas to action-packed resorts, with so many choices across the U.S., you can book whoever you want to be. Book today on Booking.com or in the Booking.com app. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Chins and Giggles, episode 110. Wow, that's 110 episodes, girl. That's crazy.
That is.
What's up, you guys? Happy Thursday or happy Friday, whether you're listening or watching. Hey, Queen.
I can't believe it's already June. Like, how are we halfway through the year? That's insane, Mayra.
That's crazy. Y'all, all I've been seeing on my TikTok is so and so many days for fall, so and so many days for Christmas.
I just want fall to be here already.
Me too.
I was literally just telling Mayra yesterday. I was like, I have been like actively searching fall decor videos on YouTube. And I don't know what it is about fall. It just genuinely like makes my soul so happy. I love
she
fall.
literally told me yesterday, she's like, Mayra, I'm seeing the girls in Texas in their houses decorating for fall.
I love it so much. I don't know what it is about fall. It really just gives me fucking
life.
But
it was the way she was explaining it to me. She's like, girl, they have the most beautiful house. They literally will decorate around their stairs, their hallway. And I'm like, Karina, you have a big ass house to decorate too. Right. She's like, no, but it's these Texas houses.
I know. I don't know why specifically. Whenever I watch fall videos, like I'll see these girls in Texas decorating their houses.
Just hits different, huh?
And it just hits so different. I don't know. I was watching this girl decorate for a Halloween party, and it was just it scratches my brain in the right areas. Kind of like you know, like Halloween Town, that movie.
Oh,
like how it just does it for me. That's what fall is just something about fall. Like I love Christmas time. Don't get me wrong, you know, I love summer too and stuff.
Yeah.
But something about fall, it just gives me, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Since we were kids, Mayra. I used to literally wait year round. Like I would wait for Disney Channel to start playing all like the Halloween episodes.
Oh my God, yes.
Or the Halloween movies. And they would just fuel my soul. I don't know what it is about fall.
We've been kids. And then once we discovered candles, bitch,
once I became an adult in fall, I feel like I started to really like feed my inner child with like the decor.
Like our house is decorated all seasons, baby.
Oh, I love it. I don't know. It's random because we're not even in summer yet. Are we fully in summer yet?
Technically, like, yes, but it starts till like June 20th.
It starts till like the end of the month.
Which is so crazy because we're basically still in spring, but summer break's already here. So people consider it summer.
It feels like summer already.
June to me is like summer period, like June 1st.
Well, for me, the way I see it, I'm like, there's like 2 more months left, and then we're entering the season of fall.
Yeah, fall I think starts till like mid-September. I'm like, fall to me is August, baby.
No, baby, in August I'm already prepping.
I'm already decorating for fall in August.
Yeah,
girl.
which August is like the hottest month of the year.
It really is, yes. Because even right now it's June and it's still cold sometimes. It's a little weird.
What is the weather like where you guys live? That's what I want to know because, you know, I feel like August in California is hot as balls. Like you don't even want to step out.
Yeah, it is.
And also just depends on where you live. I feel like if you're closer to the ocean, it's never that bad.
Yeah.
We're like an hour or so away from the ocean, and even just that difference, it's hot as hell in August, and like you don't even want to step out because you feel like you can't even catch your breath. I hate that shit. Oh my God, my man's brother lives in Arizona, guys, and he was saying that it was already in the hundreds out there.
Oh,
I was like, y'all out there in Arizona, baby, I love y'all. I love Arizona. I love visiting, but in summer, I'm like, how do y'all?
Well, let me break your Texas fantasy, baby, because it's hot as heck out there too.
I heard it's hot and humid in Texas as fuck.
Is it humid or dry?
It's humid.
In Texas?
Yes, it could be like pouring rain and it's hot as balls. Ooh. That is one thing, Mayra. Like we always talk about
dry out there.
We always talk about like, yes, we want to be Texas girlies and stuff like that, which, you know, Texas is iconic. And I feel like for our culture and stuff, like I feel like we really would fuck with Texas because like there's also a lot of like Mexicans out there, and I feel like we would just fit right in. But like we would really like that. But I feel like the biggest thing about California is really like the weather.
Yeah.
And you don't realize how amazing the weather is in California until you start visiting other places and you're like, oh shit, no, yeah, we do have really good weather.
Ooh.
You know, you want all the seasons. We talk about wanting a white Christmas
queen.
so bad, right?
No, you're right.
We
Honestly, I just have
but-
my moments, because like I'll be talking about Texas the next day. I'm like, not happening, girl. I'm like, I'm chilling here.
It's just like a little fantasy that you don't know if it'll ever actually come into fruition. Because you're like, will I ever have the balls?
Maybe not. I don't know. Summer's hot, girl. Summer is here, baby. And let me tell you.
Can we fucking plan our Palm Springs thing? What are we doing?
I was just telling Elizabeth. So a
What
couple
is
days
going
ago,
on?
we just had our pop up at the Shop Small Saray. It was
so
actually
fun.
so fun seeing
Oh my
everybody.
God, yes, it was so much fun.
Hey, Queen. Y'all are always so sweet when we get to meet you guys.
I
And
love it.
It's always fun because you guys get to see the slimes, the candles. Eliza was there too. Y'all got to see her lashes there. But literally I thought about it because right after we went to go eat dinner, and me and Elizabeth were talking about it. We're like, we just need to literally book this Palm Springs Airbnb
What are we
already.
doing?
Just
We've been
to
talking about it for
literally-
months.
Yes, we need to just book
And we were
it.
supposed to
We're
go
in June.
This is the month we were saying we were gonna go. Like, what are we doing? I'm about to text a group chat like y'all. So we booked
Elizabeth
this
did say there is a chance we could do it for her birthday too,
in July.
and just take advantage. Oh my God! Yeah. Just like do it for her birthday week. So
that would be iconic.
we'll see if we. I don't know. I feel like I want to be that girly that like goes on vacations. Like I'm not a travel girly.
Me either. I know. There's people.
I was even shocked when you guys went to Hawaii. I was like, period. I was like, goals, because we never travel like that. And there's people that actually create their families that like plan yearly, like annual vacations.
Not even just annual, Mayra. There's people I follow
That go like every other month.
There's creators I follow, Mayra, that they're posting like every
I know.
month they're in a new fucking country, and I'm like,
I know.
and like there's no excuse. Like they'll have kids and everything, and they're all pulling up to like Cancun one day, the next day they're in Japan. I'm like, you are iconic. Like I want to be that mom.
I want to be in my traveling era for sure.
And I think it's really just being spontaneous. Also, Mayra, I think some people just love
We're
traveling
such
more than
homebodies.
others.
I think that's what it is. I also get homesick super quickly. I remember once going to New York. We were there for like a week. I don't know why we were there for so long, but I literally remember crying that I wanted to go home. This was like,
I get
this was
homesick too.
me when like I was like a lot younger. We were like early 20s. And I don't know, I guess I was just, and I was living with my parents at the time. But I do remember like literally crying that I like missed my parents. I wanted to go home.
I feel like there's people that love traveling. There's people that also love being home. I honestly feel like I do love a good vacation, but after a few days, I really am just like, I want to go home. Like I miss
You were in
home.
Hawaii for a week.
And you kind of do miss home. And I feel like, yeah, I'm like that too, Mayra, where I'm like, I don't know if I want to travel as much. Vacations are not as relaxing as you think they are, huh? Because like it's more like you're planning a whole itinerary and you're like, we have to get this done. We're only here this amount of days. We're probably never going to be back. We have to do this. We have to do that. And sometimes I'm like, the best day off, like a true vacation, is sometimes really just being home and not doing shit.
Wow,
like when they
period.
ask you, like, what do you do on your day off? What do you want to do? Like, what's the best day off? I'm like, the best day off is nothing.
Snuggled in your PJs in your couch watching
Because like
movies,
really, if you think about it, like
eating your spicy noodles, like,
doing
that's a
nothing
day
is
for
the
me.
best type of rest. Yeah.
Wow.
But
I
I
don't
still
know.
want to go to Palm Springs.
I want to be a vacation girly, especially for the summer. Where like I feel like summer is literally just beginning. I want to plan a lot of things. I definitely want to go to water parks, Karina, and I've been telling y'all let's go to Raging Waters, and mainly because Noah. I feel like also Noah last summer he was a newborn. So like this is my year, baby. I want to go here. I want to go there. And Noah's like Noah, you could literally walk him by the pool and he's like so excited just seeing the water. He loves water. So I just want to see like how he reacts to like a water
even
park.
know Raging Waters existed anymore. I thought Raging Waters closed down years ago.
We even used to get like the summer pass. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I thought Raging Waters closed down like 10 years ago. I'm not even gonna fucking lie.
I know.
I had no idea it was still a thing.
I also heard it's better to go like to any water parks. Like I know summer just began, y'all, but I've heard it's better to go like the first weeks because the water gets like a little filthy like by the end.
That part.
So
That is
baby, we gotta go
insane.
now.
Can you tell that story, that disgusting story you brought up the other day? I was like, I didn't even realize that happened.
What?
You said that you have a memory of somebody like taking off their pad and throwing it across the pool.
Oh yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
And yeah, I have a memory of someone, and I'm like, oh my god, this just makes me think like, what is going on in there? Even with kids, like with their diapers and stuff. I have a memory. So Raging Waters, I think it was Raging Waters. I don't know. It had to be a water park. It was like a river that like moves.
The lazy river.
Is it the lazy river? I can't wait to get on that one. It's so iconic. But I literally have a memory of someone like grabbing their pad and throwing it out to like the bushes.
And you said you have the memory of me doing that.
Someone doing it, Karina.
She was like, I could have sworn I remember you took your pad off and threw it across the pool. I was like, what the fuck?
It probably wasn't. Obviously,
no, but if it was, okay, I'm like really trying to look back.
Okay, Karina, first of all, if it was you, you're totally outing yourself right now. Like, what?
No, I thought it was hilarious when you brought it up. I was like, I did that shit.
I don't think you would, but I really.
Pig.
No, I don't think you did.
I know, but if I did, but for you to have that memory of me, Mayra,
I have a memory
crazy.
of like, somebody in a friend group. Like, it had to be our friend group, and I don't know who it was. I literally told this so confidently to Karina the other day. I'm like, do you remember that time you literally like threw your pad out?
I was like, what the actual?
And she was like, bitch, what?
I was like, wait, and I didn't think, honestly, like I wasn't like, what? No, I was more like, I did that shit. Like, why the fuck?
It probably wasn't. I don't know.
Mayra,
no, because I don't even want to say friend group because I don't even want to blame a friend.
I mean,
it was just somebody.
I don't remember the last time I went to Raging Waters, but I'm looking back at like 13-year-old me, and I'm like, I probably would have done that shit. That's fucking disgusting.
Wait, you had your period at 13?
I think I got my period like at 12.
Nah, you did not. That early?
I feel like I got mine like at 12, 13.
Yes, I did not get my period at 14. That was way later. I got my period at 14.
At 14? I think I was 13.
Whoa.
I did not get my period until I feel like 14. I was already on my period for a while. Because
I
know
you got it before me, but that's crazy.
I was in middle school when I got my period.
Me too.
14 in middle school? Isn't that like freshman year?
I was in 8th grade.
Do you remember when you first started your period?
I did. I do remember.
How did you do it? Well, I started my period first, huh?
Yeah, you could start with how that happened.
I was mortified when I started my period.
I was like, wow, like queen, because you got it before me. And anybody that like had like any, like, I don't know, like even like a girl that like her breast came in, or so a girl that started her period, you were always like, oh my God, you know. So that's how I felt about Karina starting her period.
You were excited about starting your period?
I was like, when I knew you had started, I was like, she's a woman. Like,
I'm crying. That's hilarious. We had completely opposite reactions to starting our period. Our parents never had the birds and the bees talks. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
They never had that conversation with us. Did I know I had to get a period? Yes, I knew because school, 5th grade, when they come in and they show you like, and they give you pads and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a pad. It's like so crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And they give you all that, the talk. I knew a period was going to come, but like my mom actually never sat down with us and told us like, this is the age where your period's coming. No, Mayra. My parents never had like the sex talk.
Oh no, they didn't, but I like period. Like I'm sure she did at some point, girl.
I'm sure like she probably brought it up like, yeah, you'll get your period one day. But I feel like we never sat down and was like, I don't feel like we ever sat down and got told like, you're in the age where you might get your period soon. Like never.
Yeah.
Because when I got my period, you guys, I specifically remember being at a Carl's Jr. and I never wore white, but this day I was wearing white jeans for some reason.
Sorry. Why? Like, no, because why would that happen? Like,
I don't even remember ever owning white jeans in my life, but
like the day that you would decide to wear white jeans.
The literally one day of my life that I wear white jeans, I start my period.
That's crazy.
So I remember being at Carl's Jr. and I just remember feeling like, when you get your period and like you feel like you need to poop sometimes, like the period poops are real.
Oh yeah.
So I just remember like I was feeling cramping at the time. I didn't know what I was feeling down there.
Like, why does my stomach hurt?
But I remember thinking, I was like, why does my stomach like feel weird down there? Because this is me experiencing
like
cramps,
bloated and stuff.
This is me experiencing bloating and cramps for the very first time in my life. So I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, I was like, oh, like I was just ignoring it. It was just there. And then I stand up. I think I needed to go take a shit.
Oh,
because I was like, I was like, oh, my stomach feels weird and whatever. I stand up. I don't know if it was you or Luis that told me like your pants like I had the biggest stain on my butt.
Oh my god!
Somebody
So
told
we
me
were there.
You and Luis were there. Yeah, the three of us were dining out at Carl's Jr. And I stand up.
Oh my god! I literally, yeah, I remember.
And one of you guys tells me, like, "Oh, you're stained," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" So then I just immediately,
I almost remember thinking that, like, naturally as a kid, like my first thought was that you had like barbecue sauce on your butt.
I think you probably did think that. I probably thought it was barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Somebody probably told me you sat on barbecue sauce, queen. Anyways, so I stand up, and you guys tell me that, and I immediately, like, I just start bursting into. I freak out. I don't know if I start freaking out because I'm so embarrassed that we're in a public restaurant, Carl's Jr. Like that we're at a 5-star dining. It's so embarrassing. Everyone's looking at me. Imagine. So I think that's what it was. I don't know what the trigger was to like burst into tears and like freak the fuck out.
Aww.
And then we're on our way home. I don't even think I went to the restroom, Mayra.
Because you bursted in tears, you did have a feeling it was something with you.
I knew. I was like, oh my god, I think it's my period.
Aww.
But I don't know why. I just got so emotional. I started crying. I was scared. And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like my mom never like sat down with us and talked to us much about it, because I feel like there's no reason I should have been scared.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely, Mayra was so scared, and like there's no reason. I knew it was my period, but I was just like, what is this? Like, I think I was just mortified by the scene because I was really stained. I think I didn't notice it until I was like full blown, like, bitch, my ass, everything was like, I didn't notice it until I was like, you know. And then I don't even think I went to the restroom until I got home. So I got home and I was like crying to my mom, like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. And she was like, and of course my mom was like, it's normal, you started your period, you know. And then yeah, I was just shook. I literally remember that day, Mayra, like all of it. Like I remember my mom saying like, oh, you know, just like take a shower, put new underwear on, you're gonna put your pad on, you know, like that's when she actually like had the talk with me.
She like showed you how to put it on.
Yeah, like she literally, because I was like, how do you put on the pad? Like literally, you know, like
were
I was
you
just
still
like,
crying or?
I was just really emotional. I was scared. I think after a few hours, like I was fine. But for some reason, like I feel like when I think about when I started my period, like it was really traumatic for no reason.
No reason at all, babe.
No, literally. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like I never got to talk like that because I was actually fucking scared when I got my period. Like, what?
And maybe that's
so
why
random.
I wasn't so scared, because I already knew like about your.
Well, because Mayra, I think she was excited she got her period.
Yeah.
How did you start it? Do you remember when?
I do remember. I was I think I was on my last period, literally, from like, you know how you have different periods in middle school, like the classes.
Oh, okay.
I was in computer class.
Uh-huh.
And I literally remember like going to use the bathroom and I saw like pink on the paper.
Oh, so you didn't get stained or anything?
No, but I just remember being like, it's here.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my god, like I'm like, she's in her youth era.
You're like, no. I'm grown. Imagine.
I really thought for me it was like such a like, oh my god, I'm grown. Yeah,
I'm screaming.
And that was it. And I remember going back to I remember going to my, I think I even remember telling a friend like, I just started my period, like,
oh my god.
And like,
so
I
funny.
think I did start a little bit late because like most of my friends already had their period.
I started, that's what I'm saying. I think I started at 13.
Yeah, I was definitely like 14. I had to be in 8th grade.
I was 13.
Yeah, I probably had just turned 14, maybe.
I don't know, because I look back and I was like still like a little kid, like 13 or so.
Yeah.
And then I remember thinking, so then I got my period. I'm like, okay, cool. That means my boobs are going to come in soon. We're still waiting, baby. And she's 30.
No, same, girl.
Still waiting.
I always thought that too, because my mom has like knockers on her.
My mom has really big boobs, so I always thought.
And they're like, and they stand high. Like she has like a nice cleavage and everything.
My mom has really like nice boobs, and I always thought the areolas are there. The boobs just have to come in now.
Yeah, that part, honey.
Still waiting. Imagine it.
But yeah, I definitely, it wasn't traumatic for me because I already had experienced it. Like, I guess seeing it with Karina. But I literally do remember that day you at Carl's Jr. That's crazy. And I do remember you crying.
For no reason. I was literally mortified.
But you know what's crazy? You know how you say it was emotional for you? Imagine for my mom.
Oh, I'm sure she was like, oh my God.
She's probably like, oh, started growing up.
I know, it's crazy.
Have you thought about that for Mia? Like, how would you feel?
I haven't until now. I'm like, oh my gosh. Aww. But I think I would have that talk. Like,
of course.
Like, you know, you might start your period soon. Don't freak out. I know I was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, we're actually drinking our juices right now from Juice It Up. This is
we got a green juice going, guys.
Detoxifier or something.
Every couple months we come on this podcast and talk about our journey to health. Imagine, and then we forget about it. And then
no, I was telling Karina, you know, with life and naturally you fluctuate and stuff. I was telling Karina, I'm like, oh my god, the month of May, completely downhill. Like no discipline at all. I think even leading up to the month of April, because it was Noah's birthday, like I was trying to prove myself like a year postpartum. Like I was able to like, I feel like, yes, I had moments where my weight would fluctuate, but I feel like for the most part, the first year postpartum, I was really able to maintain that. Like, you know, I would fluctuate a couple pounds, but I was able to maintain a stable weight. And the month of May really, I feel like even just April was so busy, and May, I mean, it was just like literally no discipline, completely no discipline. Tough. So I was telling Karina, I'm like, no, like I'm feeling it. I almost feel like I have like water retention just because like this past week I've just been feeling like more poofier. I don't know. I've just been feeling like the weight kind of gradually coming back on, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't like this. So I told Karina, I'm like, I'm gonna get my juice. I'm gonna do a juice cleanse and see how that works for me, just to reboot myself.
It's good too. It's good.
But you know what? Like I was telling Karina, look, you guys, the way that I know we talk about like our journey every now and then, people are like, okay, here they go again. No,
every couple months, here they go.
I want you guys to know that like with anything, it is a lifestyle change. Me just juicing. This is just me trying to like reboot myself, but this like it's like with a lifestyle change, you need a lot of discipline, but also with that lifestyle change, there's gonna be times where your weight is gonna fluctuate. That's just part of life.
Course, yeah.
You're gonna have moments where you did eat like complete crap this one week, but the next you're fine. Like I literally this morning I was kind of beating myself up because I did weigh myself. I'm like, okay, the scale's like slowly going up, Mayra. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, literally, like I told myself this because, in general, like after Braycito, I feel like there was definitely a time where like completely, I was like at my heaviest, and then once I got pregnant with Noah, I was like at a specific weight, but I was at my lightest after having Noah. So it was just a few pounds. Like, but it was probably like 10 pounds lighter. But that made a significant like difference in my confidence.
You honestly, I feel like, especially as yourself, like you notice every pound, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I was thriving, and then to some extent, you know, I gained a couple pounds, but I was never like the weight that I was prior. So I see the weight slowly going up, and I told myself, I'm like, I'm not going to allow it. So it's fine. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I literally told Karina, I'm like, I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because I feel like naturally when you beat yourself up about it and you almost accept the weight, you just get into like this deep hole of just like no return. And then you just go back to those bad habits.
And then you're just like, well, I might as well keep eating. And
yeah, and I told Karina, I'm like, this is why, like, when you say it's a lifestyle change, it really is, because I'm literally thinking like, it's okay, you just had a shitty month, but like, it's okay, just go back to your ways. You already know what discipline is like. It's okay. And that's it. That's how I'm seeing it. It was just a little rocky month, and here she is getting all her nutrients.
And it's just actually not bad. Like, yes, does it taste like vegetables? Yeah. Like, is it the yummiest thing in the world? No. But after a few sips, like, okay, I'm starting to taste the apple in the background. The front and center, it's giving celery or whatever that is in the front.
Is it?
Whatever that first initial taste is celery and ginger, like hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
The ginger stands out a lot.
Yeah.
I hate ginger.
For sure. But I was trying the you know, we were saying it wrong. We were saying intermediate fasting. It's called intermittent. I can't even say the word.
I think it's the same shit. It's just that we're not pronouncing the T.
It's called intermittent fasting.
Oh, that's right. Not intermediate.
I was saying it wrong. Whatever. But that was actually working really well for me. Actually, I would just literally start eating at 12 p.m. and at 8 p.m. And you fast for the 16 hours.
Oh shit! 16 hours,
yeah, and it was working so well for me. And honestly,
you're able to eat. You're able to eat whatever, right? And you just like, or
you probably can. I was naturally just, you know, like I said, lifestyle change. You naturally, obviously, are not doing like the worst
Be more
food.
cautious about it.
Yeah, being more cautious, like you know, I feel like we all know exactly what we should be eating or we shouldn't. So it wasn't difficult, honestly. Like you were still like eating. Like I've honestly, even when I was able to even, you know, scratching off the month of May, me eating like crazy, even prior to that, I was maintaining my weight and I was still eating my carbs and everything. That's the thing for me, like when it comes to lifestyle change, like I'm still eating all my carbs. Like I'm literally like, more than anything, I think I'm just making more home cooked meals, but I'm still having my bomb Mexican rice, my beans, like all that. Like,
well, that's the thing. I feel like when you do full blown keto and like do no carbs, that's when you get the setbacks where you start to binge and stuff, because you need some kind of carbs. Like if you eat, you know, like if you want to eat carbs, like eat the healthy carbs. Eat, you know, there's a lot of vegetables that have carbs, a lot of fruit that has carbs. Beans are amazing. They have carbs. Yeah, like a little bit of rice here and there is good too. Like you don't have to do the full like zero carb thing, because that's when you're gonna like go.
I used to do that when I was younger, and it would work, but it would just be within that time frame. Like I would eat a carb and I would like gain so much weight after that.
I feel like it's more about like prioritizing the protein, and then like leave some room for carbs if you want carbs. You know.
Also, we were like in our running era. Like remember?
I'm telling you, they think we're a joke. Every couple months we come on and talking about our eras. You know?
No, and you know, I was talking to Karina because I literally even remember seeing a comment on here. Somebody had mentioned that like sometimes running is less effective than walking.
That's crazy
when it comes to weight loss, and it's actually crazy because like you do read on it and it's true.
We're just getting 10,000
especially if you're a
steps a day is incredible.
PCOS girly, like the way your body just works, like it's more beneficial to walk. And yes, getting your 10,000 steps a day. That's why I say though, like even if we didn't get our 10,000 steps this past month, like that's just part of life. You're gonna have moments where you have like a shittier month than others. Like that's why it's a lifestyle change.
I do really think we should start walking again though, because
I do wanna, yeah.
Because when we were running, like I'm not gonna lie, like I think when we were running, I just remember I was already hitting like 16-week mark. When we were running, and I started to feel it. I was like I could feel it in my pelvis, like the running. I just felt really stiff.
Oh my God.
I would love to do walking, like even.
Can I tell you why I low-key stopped? My hips were getting messed up.
Well, running,
like it was wearing out my bones. I know this sounds crazy because we only did it for like almost like a month and a half.
It's a thing, Mayra.
Yeah, we were doing it for a bit. And I literally I definitely was proving I definitely was proving myself like to certain points where I was like, really, oh my goodness, good. Like I was having like a proud moment.
You loved it too.
I loved it. I feel like in general, I think being outside is just like my thing.
I don't like running.
No, I crave it till this day. Sometimes I just want to go out there and like run. Like I did love it, but I would notice literally like until this day, like it's had to been like what, over a month that we haven't more.
Oh yeah.
That we've ran. Until this day, randomly, like I'm all chueca, like my hips are hurting, my knees are hurting.
Well, that's real. That's really normal. Like, you know, you're putting what is it? Like
a lot of weight on your
You're putting weight you're putting that extra, is there a word for it? Like you're putting that extra strength. I'm saying it wrong. I wish I had the right fucking words.
Yeah.
But in a way,
it wears out your body, low-key.
Well, in a way, Mayra, like you're putting that endurance on your bones, so you're producing more, you know, collagen or whatever in your bones, so that you're putting more resistance on your bones.
Oh wow!
So in that sense, like you're making them work hard, like in the long term run, where like you know they're whatever. But it's the same thing with strength training too. Because the weights, like when I was weight training a lot, my knees, everything, I was like, yo, like I felt it in all my bones.
Yeah.
And you almost feel like you're like aging faster, but at the same time, since you're putting all that resistance on your bones, like it's helping them too.
Yeah.
So you feel like for sure, like it's a thing. Runners, like it's runner knees, like it's a thing.
So I don't know. I'm trying to find like what, I mean, it was definitely my niche. Like I loved it so much. And then
it was your niche.
That's why I say it's a lifestyle change, because even if we're like, oh, we had a running era and now it's not a thing, like no, like I still try to get my steps in. Like I still have my treadmill inside the house that I still try to run in randomly, or like I still try to reach certain goals for the most part, you know, like it's just, you're just trying out what works for you in that season, you know.
Well, there's even people who, you know, apparently people are doing like, is it pickleball? Is that what it's called?
Pickleball.
Pickleball, like, you know, or
just trying out sports.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, you know, you think about working out and you're like, I don't like lifting weights. I don't like running. I don't like this. Well, you know, there's sports that are fun.
Yeah.
Like tennis. It's giving. I love the vibes. I love the outfits.
Yeah.
We should give it a try. And like with stuff like that, it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's also great workouts. But, you know, you just need to find your niche. It really is what it, or if you love swimming, like swimming is incredible too. Like there's so many forms of working out. And sometimes when we think about working out, all we think is about literally like weight training or running and stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, what if you're a yoga girly and you really fuck with yoga, you know, like there's so many different, it doesn't even have to be
Pilates. I've seen Pilates.
Pilates does not look fun. It looks amazing. It looks fun. It's cute and all, but I heard it's really hard.
Yeah. I've heard that's like, you will shed weight with that too.
I heard Pilates is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to do specific things like that, like find something fun that you like if you like basketball, dodgeball, whatever the case is that you love.
Yeah.
Like that's all really good forms of workout. If you like dancing,
oh, that works out for me. Last night we came back from Disneyland, and
you danced.
I had a big back moment. Like we stopped by what's that place called?
Oh, you guys got food after?
Yeah, what is the place? I can't think about the restaurant, but I had a torta, and I was feeling like a real big back queen because I was already in my head about it. Like I already, like you know when you're just like not like. I just have been feeling uncomfortable with myself. Okay. So I couldn't even believe like I was gonna have a torta like at what, like it was like 10 p.m. I was like, what are you doing? You're already in bed, you know? Like I was definitely like beating myself up about it. And I just, you know, when you black out and you just eat, that's exactly what happened. I was just like, I'm just gonna eat. Bye.
That's so real.
So I started feeling guilty. So with no music, I was just like dancing.
Bye. That's actually
just to burn it off a little bit.
A good workout though, because I've had my watch on.
I love dancing.
When you go to a club or something, and it'll record it as a workout when you're dancing.
Bye. That's funny. That's funny.
It'll like yeah, like I'll go out. Well, when I was going out before I got pregnant, I would wear my watch and I would go out dancing. And
my watch does that when we go to Disneyland.
It'll start recording a walk.
Outdoor walk. I'm like, period.
Right? You get your steps in there, bitch.
You do.
But yeah, it would record it as a workout. Like, and it would be like, it would say like 2 a.m., like intense workout. I'm like, I was going the fuck off.
Intense workout is crazy.
The zapateado was crazy.
No. Oh my God. Yes. You guys, literally, I feel like zapateado is like the ultimate like glute exercise,
especially if you're, you know how there's a 2-2-2-2. If you're doing the da 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 da,
oh, the
running the place.
Oh yeah, the one that's like, yeah, the one that you're bouncing on each leg every time. Yes, girl. And it's like the ultimate like butt workout though, Karina. Oh, yeah. Like when I used to go clubbing, I had a clubbing era when I used to go clubbing back to back. Literally, like the whole week, my actual butt cheeks would be like on fire,
especially because with the heels.
Yes,
like you're putting more. Yeah,
it's the fact that we're working out in heels when we're dancing.
It's that part. That's what it is, queen.
That's crazy.
It's a great workout.
It's the elevation. I think that's what it is.
It's the elevation, literally.
But oh my God, you guys. So if you guys have not heard, Ozempic is like the biggest thing right now.
The whole world has heard about it.
The whole world, right? Has
heard
of. Well, my mom didn't. I had told her about it, and I was like, "Have you heard of Ozempic?" She's like, "What is that?" I was like,
"Oh, So
maybe some señoras don't. Who knows? Depending how you're on TikTok. But it's everywhere.
Why is it so frowned upon?
It's kind of frowned upon.
Well, I know. Actually, I know why. I think the reason that it's frowned upon is because a lot of people started just like taking it that don't need it, like celebrities.
Oh, okay, people taking it that don't need it.
Yes, that I get that. I feel like if you're getting it prescribed from your doctor, like go the fuck off.
Yeah, for like health reasons. Come on, baby.
Like, or if you're just a thick girly and your doctor could give it to you.
But like, I just feel like so many celebrities that definitely probably need to only lose like 10 pounds are taking that shit.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, baby.
That's why there's a controversy for it, because all the celebrities are taking it. I've
seen them. I was watching the Kardashians. And it was in Scott's fridge.
Yeah, he had like something.
But also some people were saying like he's either taking it or like there's also been like rumors that he might be on other stuff. So that was their way to cover it up. That it was the weight loss was through that.
But like, I don't know. Someone like has Scott Disick ever even been big? No. Like people, I think everybody has their own insecurities because I've never seen him big in my life.
I know exactly. But that's why people are saying that like maybe that's why, like, this is just a rumor, that maybe he was on other stuff, buy other stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. So they're trying to cover it up by saying he's on Ozempic because the medicine was like on. This is just rumors. I don't know. Maybe he's an Ozempic king. I don't know.
Ozempic king.
The Ozempic was like in his fridge. I was like, period.
You know what's funny? Like ever since I lost weight, like I will always get those random comments like the Ozempic is Ozemping, and I'm like, baby,
the Ozempic is Ozemping. They tell you that?
I always see it on TikTok. Or
that's funny.
Yeah, or like on random reels that I'll post, like people will like tell me like, oh, she's definitely on Ozempic, you know?
And or like, what's your secret, girl? Do you get that?
They'll be like, oh, Ozempic, and like they think they're doing something. I'm like, actually, worse. I got to sleep. My stomach got cut out.
So worse, like what?
Because they're commenting in a way that they're like,
my stomach got cut out. It's crazy.
So because they're commenting in a way where they're trying to say like, I know her
expose
secret.
You or
like
something.
Trying to expose you, like you got this. I mean, you got Ozempic. I'm thinking like, actually, my stomach was cut out, queen, and I'm very open about it. But
there's literally
I reply sometimes. I'll be like, actually, my stomach was cut out.
No, there's literally people that will go up to you. I've literally seen this with my own eyes. They'll be like, "Girl, you look so good. What's your secret?" And Karina, like just with a straight face, I got the sleeve. Like, like there's no secret, girl.
Surgery.
That's funny. I was
because they really think they're like offending you with that, and I'm like, actually, like I got full blown surgery. So if you think Ozempic's bad, wait till you hear about the sleeve. No, I'm just like,
I'm done.
No, I have seen that when people are like, they'll be like, "What's the secret, girl? Like, spill it." And I'm like, I've literally said it a million times.
You've been so open about it. That's the crazy part.
Get your stomach taken out.
I'm done. No, but I was telling Karina because I know a few people that have like tried it. My mom actually got prescribed Ozempic literally just last week.
My mom got prescribed Ozempic, guys. Well, not Ozempic. It's like Wegovy or something. It's like
it's similar to it. It's like the same hormone.
Same shit. I feel like it's still.
I feel like it's almost the same. It's just the popular brand is Ozempic, but they're all like the same hormone that it.
And my mom said that she went to her doctor. She's like, I want Ozempic.
I told my mom, this is where I told my mom about Ozempic.
I'm screaming.
I told her because bitch, I'm tempted. Right? I feel like if you qualify for it, like genuine, I literally I had this talk with my mom. I told her I was like, I'm at like hay una medicina.
My mom's pre-diabetic.
I was like, hay una medicina que está ayudando like a perder peso, and but I told her I was like, this is for people that are like pre-diabetic, insulin resistant, because my mom, she actually like cuidados herself, so it's kind of shocking that she even has pre-diabetes. I think she was able to really help it a lot. But I know she's still like insulin resistant, if I'm not mistaken.
She has prediabetes.
Yeah. So it's been going well for her. She completely changed her diet. Her and my dad, they've been like on their health journey. Yeah. But she recently got
diabetic too.
Yeah. My mom recently got a physical, and of course I told her about Ozempic, and she was like, "Oh my God, like I want to try it."
She told me that she straight up asked her doctor like, "I want Ozempic," and that they were like, well, you actually do qualify for it because you're because my mom's on metformin, I think.
I think they put her on metformin.
She was on metformin because of like
she did say that it was like she kind of had to like really so basically obviously my mom did lose a lot of weight with her changing. She got on top of her diet. My dad and my mom literally are like on this whole health journey,
their health kick.
So my mom has lost like over like 15 pounds, I think.
Yeah, and she's
15,
tiny.
20
My
pounds.
mom's like 5 pounds.
And my mom's
5 pounds. Sorry,
okay.
No, my mom's like 5 feet tall is what I meant. 5 pounds is crazy. Goals, you.
Damn, she lost weight.
No, my mom's 5 feet tall, so like 5 pounds on her, like you can see it a lot.
Oh yeah, when she lost like 15 or 20 pounds, like you could see it. I see pictures and I'm like, oh my God, I totally see the weight loss. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
So kudos to her. She looks incredible, but she's still pre-diabetic, obviously. Actually, I thought she had like reversed it or something. She was doing so good. The point is that she was like insulin resistant, and she got blood work.
The point is, it was prescribed by her doctor.
It got prescribed to her. Yes,
she didn't have to go to the black market.
Yeah, it got prescribed to her. And she literally just got prescribed like days ago. It hasn't even been a week.
Obviously they told her like what the side effects are, and she's gonna feel nausea and all that stuff.
She was complaining to me about like having like a strong headache. This was literally okay.
I told her, I was like, it's because like your body's adjusting to it. Like I'm sure that's what it is.
No, and this is funny because she was just telling me, I literally had seen her the day after,
And she was telling me, she's like, oh, like me siento bien cansada, me duele la cabeza. She's like, I took my blood pressure. It's completely fine. And then I just remembered, I'm like, oh my God, like, have you got the Ozempic shot or whatever she's taking? Same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, have you gotten it already? She's like, oh yeah, I just injected it myself yesterday.
And that's
I
what
was
it
like-
is, queen.
And I was like, Ama, like, it just clicked. I was like, your head hurts because of the Ozempic, like, you know? So it's been a few days, right, that she got it? It hasn't been a week yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a week.
But I'm really curious to see how it works for her because it is so intriguing. It really is. Like, obviously, you know,
I feel like if you're being prescribed it and stuff, like, which even you, Mayra, like,
okay, yes,
how you feel bad, how you used to feel bad, like, you're like, oh, well, like, you know, because Ozempic was, like, really frowned upon. A lot of people were getting it, like, just to get it.
yes.
But, like, technically, Mayra,
I know if
you
I
would
went to a
qualify.
doctor, they'd be like, you're overweight.
There's so much stuff with hormones, Mayra, like,
Yeah.
whether it's PCOS or not, like, the insulin resistance, all that, like, you would definitely.
I would definitely qualify, right? It's just going to doctor.
It's
and
a
being like, hey,
diabetic
queen.
drug, and pre-diabetes is diabetes, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's. But yeah, I think you actually would qualify.
I would.
And I know there's people out there that are like, oh, Ozempic, like, it's so, like, there's such a big stigma behind it, and I think it's because celebrities abused it, and like they're getting it. Like, there's no way that Kim Kardashian needs Ozempic, but like, you know how, and there was always rumors of them getting the sleeve, that they thought they got the sleeve. Like, they didn't get the sleeve, they got Ozempic. Like, be for real, you know. And there were so many people.
And I was telling Karina, I'm like, it's crazy because when Karina got the sleeve, I don't think Ozempic was like fully at its peak of what people.
I heard about it. I definitely had heard about it, but I feel like it was just like something you heard about, like, oh, Ozempic, where it wasn't like easily accessible, or like you didn't even know where or what. But I feel like nowadays, like, I feel like the Ozempic is becoming the new sleeve, like, non-surgical.
That part.
Which is crazy. And I do feel like if you could benefit from it and you qualify for it and your doctor is prescribing it to you, go the fuck off, queen.
Yeah.
Because it's meant for you. Like, if your doctor's prescribing it,
Yes.
and you qualify,
I'm not the kind that
dude,
goes to like get like annual checkups, which is such like a bad thing of me. I know the last time I had gotten blood work, it was when I was breastfeeding, and I was not I didn't have pre-diabetes then, but I already know, like, I'm not pumping, I'm not breastfeeding or anything like that. And then also in general, like, I know I'm insulin resistant, like, period, point blank, like, period. I just know it for a fact. It's obviously like for us people that need it.
For a lot of people. And you actually hear about people that it's not working on. And I've heard from people, because, you know, you hear from like just people, you know, that they're like, oh, I'm doing it and stuff. And a lot of times you're thinking, you're like, do you even need it? You know? And I feel like it's the people that are just getting it just to like
lose
like
a couple pounds.
To lose a few pounds, like, where it's not doing anything for them. I'm like, because your body didn't need it. Like, it's working for those people that actually are insulin resistant, or, you know, that it's a diabetic drug. It's doing wonders for those that actually needed that hormone change or whatever it is that's in it.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's just like, oh, I want to lose a few pounds, like, I'm going to find my way, I'm going to get my Ozempic one way or another, it's probably not going to work the same for you as someone who actually will benefit from it. So it's like,
Medically needs it.
exactly. So
I'm curious, like, how it works on my mom. I really am.
yeah.
With anything, it's obviously you're like, oh shit.
I do
you know?
really think it's like for her, like, you know how they say it's like all about hormones too. Like, my mom is someone who has always watched what she eats. My mom's the kind that will not eat after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, she's always been really about like eating healthy.
Yeah, like, I'm shocked she even
And
had issues with her weight.
I can't even believe she has issues with blood pressure, diabetes, and all that stuff. That shit is just like genetics at that point. But you know, hopefully it works wonders for her.
Yeah, I'm excited for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it's like literally like in my face at this point that I'm like so tempted. With anything, obviously, like even my family, like you know,
And
the
if
people,
you do it,
the people
Mayra,
that I have
good
known
for
that
you.
like you guys getting the sleeve, like obviously it's been a topic that's been brought up, like, oh well, when's Mayra getting the sleeve? Like, it's been brought up where I'm like, okay, like, you know, it's in the air.
honestly
And when I heard of Ozempic, I was like, okay, this is my chance to try something out, maybe without
and you
getting
know, it's
something
cool because
surgically
it's
done.
It's cool because it's not surgical.
That part.
And in my honest opinion, Mayra, like, I know that you feel like I feel like you talk about yourself like if you're freaking huge. And in all honesty,
Girl.
I feel like for the amount of pounds that you need to lose, I don't think you need the sleeve.
You talk about hitting certain numbers on the scale that you're like, oh, this is my highest. And I'm thinking like, that's actually not bad at all.
I just,
like when I think of the sleeve, I think of like, you know, and so a lot of people tell me too, they were like, you were not even that big. That's because I was a yo-yo in the last few years where I would like lose weight, I would gain, lose. And I was already on my weight loss journey when I did the sleeve. But like, if you really take it back to like my biggest, whenever I post on Instagram, like, oh, like these are pictures of me, kind of reminding people like, oh, it's me in 2015. Yeah, like I look back, I'm like, no, me estaba derramando. Like I was overflowing, bitch. It's just that people see the past couple of years and they're like, you weren't that big. Yeah, because I had already lost like 40 pounds at the time. Like, you know, it's like I was already on this journey like a yo-yo.
I just feel like because for like my entire adult life, like I have been overweight, like obviously. So it's like I either do the change, and yes, like that's why even with like me doing the little juices and stuff, like I feel like I have a lot more discipline now as an adult because I have been able to be lighter in weight than I was like prior to being pregnant, I guess. But even then, like I'm still not on my goal weight. Like I still have a lot of weight to lose. Like, so I think me just being overweight in general, like it does kind of like make you think, right? Like I'm like, okay, am I gonna be like this forever? Like I know the changes that I have to make to be thinner.
I genuinely feel like,
you know,
you, Mayra, like how, you know, you talk about your goals and stuff, you losing 20-30 pounds would be like it. Like, and someone for,
and you know what's
sleeve
crazy
is like
though,
you're trying to lose like 60 plus.
But you know what's crazy though? Like we say that, but it's like, why haven't I lost it?
No, you know, what I'm telling you is like, I'm going back to that, how like, you know, like don't listen to the comments of like, oh, you need the sleeve, you know, you need that just because your siblings did it.
Yeah, no, but obviously it's like tempting, you know, like I don't know. In general, though, even if even in general, like I know, like I have to like change my habits, you know. Like I feel like
something like Ozempic, Mayra, like fuck what people say. Like
that's
if
why, girl.
Prescribing it
I'm not. I was gonna say gatekeeping. What's the word? Not gatekeeping. I'm not gonna be coming on here and be like, y'all, like I'm losing weight and it's all natural. No, bitch. If I go on Ozempic, baby, I'm taking y'all with me on this journey. Okay. Let me tell you, like seriously, I still haven't made up my mind clearly. Even Ozempic, even if it's just medicine, Karina. Even then, I'm like, I want to see like how it works.
And there's still gonna be those comments, no matter what. Like there's still gonna be people probably in the comments right now saying like, we don't know the long-term effects of Ozempic. People are saying this and
even I have said it. That's why like I want to see how it works on my mom. I'm not saying I'm gonna take it, but it's tempting. I want to see how it works on her. I think
it's one of those things.
It's like also I'm still gonna work on my changes, my eating and stuff. What I've been doing these whole past year, but it's still in the back of my mind that Ozempic is there. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, yeah.
I think with anything, like I'm still like. With anything, I still have the mindset of like it's how I eat, my lifestyle. Like I'm not gonna freaking just because if I do decide to get Ozempic, I'm just gonna be like, well, fuck my diet and I'm on Ozempic now. Like no, I think it's way deeper than that. In general, your lifestyle,
it's way deeper than any.
And I'm so proud that I am like in a more like even right now, like I know a specific weight that I don't want to reach. And I've been able to maintain a certain weight that I'm like, I'm not willing to go to those numbers again. And I've been able to prove myself times on end, even after breastfeeding, that I'm able to have discipline. Mm-hmm. And if Ozempic is going to help me drop the weight, baby, I'm tempted, honey. If y'all have, and I know a lot of people are on Ozempic, girly.
A lot of people are on it.
If you're on it, let me know in the comments down below how it's going for you. Has it worked out? Which I know it has worked out. I've seen.
Also, there's people that.
But let me know, you guys.
There's also people that'll be like, it didn't work for me, and it's like, but what were you eating? Like you gotta cut the like exactly what you said. Lifestyle changes.
It's gotta be girlies watching.
There's a lot of people that get the sleeve, bariatric surgery, get the bypass. Yeah, and inevitably, you know, they either are not losing as they should. They stall, weight gain, and it's like, what are you eating? You know, like it's not just it doesn't just solve everything. It has to be a lifestyle change. It has to be.
Yeah. So I'm curious, any of you Ozempic girlies or you're taking similar like my mom, you know, that works the same. Let me know
Wegovy or something like that?
How it's going for you, queen. I'm really curious. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm in between.
I feel like if they could prescribe it to you,
they would prescribe it, girl. Come on now.
I think it's enough to be like, my doctor's prescribing it. Like, not doing anything wrong, you know?
Definitely.
So I'm curious about that. I'm really curious. Let your girl know how it's working out for you.
This episode of Chins and Giggles is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
We are so excited. It's finally time for summer trips. Booking.com offers so many possibilities across the U.S. for all the travelers you want to be.
We'll actually be taking a trip to Palm Springs next month, and I'm looking forward to leaning into my hot girl summer mom.
Yes, girl, hot girl, summer desert mother.
When I am there, full belly and all, embracing hot pregnant mom summer. I'm going to be sitting there sipping my mocktail by the pool, taking in the sun with a burger on the side or something.
Yes, girl, enjoying the sunset. Ooh. I'm ready to jump in the pool and swim with my little family. Let me tell you, my son's obsessed with water, and I literally cannot wait to see the excitement in his face to be swimming around town, girl.
Booking.com's wide variety of places to stay across the U.S. make booking whoever you want to be this summer so easy.
From family-friendly vacation homes to picturesque villas, there are so many great choices on Booking.com. What are you waiting for?
This summer, you can book whoever you want to be on Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Check out Booking.com to book today.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Girl, this year has gone by so fast. What's something you're proud of 2024 so far?
You know what? Finding out I'm pregnant was a big surprise, and it is something I'm really proud of. I'm like, okay, come on, Gorge, we're having another baby.
I feel that. I feel like that with the whole family. We're excited for that new venture.
Well, what's something you want to accomplish this year?
Something I'm actually really proud of myself this year is my consistency. I feel like my consistency with just work in general has been like,
you're really on it?
Yes. And I think it was also, having Noah, like just that spark. Like I just seen it recently. And you know what, girl? When life goes fast, it's so hard to celebrate your wins. But it's important, girl. Let me tell you.
And with time going by so fast, it could be hard to make adjustments for the rest of the year.
Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. From my personal experience, I used to use therapy for coping with grief. And I think now I would use it for my personal growth.
Yeah, like for example, me, I'm about to have another baby. I want to get in the right headspace, like postpartum and stuff. It's a lot of hormonal shifts, and like I know how that goes. So for me, it's really getting in that headspace now. Like, okay, I'm about to have a baby now, like a second one. So super beneficial in so many ways.
Yes, it is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma, etc.
And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
Yes, girl. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
All you do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And the great thing about it, you guys, is that you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Y'all know how it is with therapists. A lot of people give up the first time because they talk to a therapist and you're like, I don't feel the vibes. And you're like, it didn't work out. You need to meet the right person.
Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/chinsandgiggles today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chinsandgiggles.
And this just like led me thinking, because I'm doing the juicing today. We were just talking about it earlier, how like there's like crazy diets and stuff like that. Like Karina was telling me about the cabbage soup.
I've heard of the cabbage soup diet, and
I've heard of it delicious.
Too. So apparently cabbage has like barely any calories in it.
Yeah.
So if you make that into a soup, kind of like it's giving caldo de pollo a little bit.
I love caldo de pollo.
I fuck with caldo de pollo. And there was people saying that they do the cabbage soup, but they'll add a little bit of chicken in there, like a protein or something. And it's still very low calories. And like you can eat a whole ass pot and it has barely any calories. So people do that. But again, there's always like that saying, like, oh, like you need enough calories and stuff. But also there's cleanses. Like there's literally cleanses that people do where they like juicing and stuff. So like, yes, it's low calories. You're not doing it as a lifestyle. It's more like of a cleanse.
I feel like there's also limits. Like I do remember when I was younger, like again, like the 0 carb diet. I feel like things like that. And it just depends how you do it. Like I just remember like eating so bad. Like when I tell you that I would literally like pull up to Carl's Jr. and get like a freaking like the nastiest, juiciest burger, just lettuce wrapped. Like, baby, what?
And you know what? That's actually not that bad of an idea if you want to cut back on
No,
carbs.
for like a cheat day, maybe.
I do that with like In-N-Out.
I totally get that. But like if that's all you're eating and you're not getting any other sorts of vegetables,
you know it really depends. Like if that's like your lifestyle of like literally not
maybe I was getting the chicken stars because it had no carbs. Like
it has carbs.
Yeah, the bread around it. But like for me it was like, well, I'm not having fries. Like it was just like really bad thinking, like terrible thinking. Or like I remember like even like right now that I'm juicing, right? I'm going in and thinking like, no, like I've been eating just crappy food. Like I just want to like detoxify my body for a day. It's like really common. It's actually juicing is really common. It's actually really healthy for you.
It has so much fibers.
So many benefits as well to it. People even do it for like days or like a month. And it's like literally really beneficial for your body to like reboot itself. But that's a whole other topic.
Water fasting is crazy.
But when I was younger, it really was more like I need to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, and I would do some crazy diets. I think there has to be some balance.
Been through my crazy shit too.
And you need to go in a mindset that this is more about your health and your well-being than just dropping a couple pounds for that week. Because when it comes to, and me and Karina used to do those really crazy diets.
I used to do crash diets horribly back then.
Real bad. And like even like water fasting. Do you remember water fasting?
Yeah. And I look back, I was like, I was a teenager. There was no reason for me to water fast.
Oh my God. No, like, and I remember like
there's benefits. No, like you watch.
But the way you were so dedicated, because I could never.
Do you remember that? I'm telling you, my whole life has been a yo-yo.
Days on end too of how weak you were.
It's insane. It's embarrassing. Like, there's no reason for that. Like literally, like, and you do read as a teenager, and that was just so unhealthy. I look back, I'm like, a teenager water fasting is crazy, bitch.
Oh my God, that is crazy, girl.
You know, and like a month later, I'd gain it all back because there was no actual structure to the diet. It was just me wanting to lose a few pounds.
That's what it is. Like even with these little things that you want to do, there's got to be discipline around it because
there's like athletes, like there's literally like bodybuilders or whoever. There's people who are really active and like are really healthy, and they'll do like a 2-day fast or something for their health.
Yes,
I wasn't doing it for health. I was just like, I need to be skinny by this weekend. And it's like that's not okay.
Yeah,
you know, like. So you need to be doing it right, because I do feel like there's cleanses and like they're good, but you need to keep in mind that it's not just like you're gonna lose this weight and it's gonna stay off. Like you should be doing it only specifically as a cleanse.
Yeah, this just got me wanting to use the bathroom, girl.
Is it?
Ooh, yeah, not just urine, girl, but I'm like she's hydrated. But yeah, it's crazy because I think about the crazy diets that we used to do back in the day, and it's just like. I'm in such a different, even like with discipline, like how I still eat carbs and stuff. It's just crazy. And you know what? I feel like this has to do a lot with like growing up. Like, you know how people naturally are like, oh, estás gordita, estás rellenita. Like that messes with kids' head.
I mean, it's in Hispanic households. I mean, it could probably be it's obviously just from our experience. Yeah, like. So many kids, like if you're thick, you'll be called chubby. Oh well, it's like Chubs. Like Luisito, my brother's son, like literally his name is Chubs. His name's not Chubs, but like his nickname is Chubs, and like he like to him like his name is Chubs, Chubby, and it's like that's just like his nickname.
We're trying to change that though.
But like we're trying to change it because it's like when you grow up, are you like because you know when it's a baby, it's cute. It's cute when they're babies and they're like gordo, but it's like
yeah.
Like those names.
Like, how are you going to feel about that? You know, it's so crazy though, Karina. I think about like my youngest days, like youngest days trying to do a diet. Like, I literally have this visual, like being, remember the house in Chino House?
Yeah.
I had to be like 7 years old. And I remember like 7 or 8 years old. And I remember being at the kitchen, getting my cup of water. And me, like, I'm 7. I have no idea what a diet even is. Just serving myself a plate of just rice. Like, the littlest amount. And I was telling myself, I'm starting my diet today.
Oh
Okay, I don't even.
Karina, I had to be like 7 or 8 years old.
That's so.
And I'm thinking like I was not even probably like considered chubby at that time because I remember like
7.
my chubby era was definitely past that.
Okay, and that's crazy because
Like who called
And
me
you don't
fat
even-
that made me do that?
and you didn't even like at that age you don't even know what you're supposed to eat or not, because I remember around being like 10 and stuff thinking that like meat, because I thought meat was so good. I thought meat was making me fat.
That's probably how my mind worked that time.
And it's crazy because like parents do like they do that to you and not realize it.
Yeah.
Because I remember my mom used to be like, you guys need to eat tortillas, like that's why you guys are getting chubby, because you don't eat tortillas. Like they would,
like, that's
crazy. Just like they're trying to have you eat different foods. So like my mom would be like, oh no, your dad eats a lot of tortilla and that's why he's so skinny. But it's like actually tortilla is like fucking like what's making me big. You know what I mean? But that was just my mom trying to have us eat, everything, like tortilla, beans, or protein. And like I was very about like I just like the meat. When like really looking back, like maybe I was getting my protein in. I have this theory. I don't even think it's a theory actually. I think it's real facts.
That especially since we started at such a young age doing these crazy crash diets,
horrible.
Your body holds like after you go on to just eating regular, it stores all the fat, and that becomes like a limbo effect.
I think you need to pay attention to your kids too when they get at that age, and they start eating specific foods. Like, and you're noticing like, are they eating like they used to? Like, I feel like that's like
I really feel like a lot of people that are overweight, and I'm speaking for myself. I feel like a lot of us throughout our life, we have gone through crazy crash diets that have probably led us to be even bigger.
Oh my god.
Does that make any sense though? Do you
yeah.
know what I mean though? Like, yes, is there some people that probably just, oh my god, I don't have earrings on. I don't have jewelry on today. Oh, sorry, I can't believe it. I'm literally shocked.
Are you screaming?
Oh my Lanta, all random. I just noticed I don't have earrings on.
I'm dead.
What is going on? I knew something was missing. Imagine. No, but I feel like everyone that I've known, I mean, maybe you were someone that, like, let's say, for example, like, you started gaining weight and you've just gradually been gaining more and more. Who knows? Like, who knows? But I feel like a lot of people that I know, Karina, that are, like, overweight, like me, they literally had, like, growing up, they would do crazy crash diets.
Because it was put in their head at a young age. It was put in
their head. Even when I think about me at 7 years old, like, I can look at a picture. She was a healthy 7-year-old skinny girl.
Oh my
Like, gosh. What?
That's horrible.
Do you believe that, though, that, like, maybe doing crazy crash diets can lead to even being, like, bigger?
It's just an unhealthy relationship with food.
But do you believe that?
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
No, yeah, like, it's just, it's crazy. Looking, like, 7 years old. If I noticed my 7-year-old on a diet, even if she was chubby,
I'm sure I would be like, tell me, like, girl, what are you doing?
Like, even then I'd be like, there's different ways. No, like, we're going to start. I would, how I would approach it? I'd be like, we could do this together. We could start making more home cooked meals, just not eating out as much is going to help a lot. More home cooked meals.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, kids don't even know what's healthy and what's not healthy.
Yeah. I mean, clearly I was eating rice and I thought it was,
no, but even then, like, the fact that they're thinking about a diet, like, I would be like, you shouldn't even be thinking about that. If you want to make healthier choices, like, we could cook more at home if you want.
Yeah, that part.
There's so many delicious meals that have everything you need, but
oh my goodness, I have a little update, y'all. So everyone's always asking, like, what happened to your Rover? Because I haven't spoken about her. No, I haven't spoken to her about her in a bit.
Spoken to her is crazy.
Spoken about her in a bit.
Your car.
So I actually just last week gifted my mom my Rover, my old Rover. I was like, girl, just take the Rover, because my Rover went through a rough patch.
I was gonna say, do you want to tell them about your Rover?
Yeah, my Rover got her. Went through,
where did you get her?
I got her in 2016, or was it 2015?
I don't know.
I think it was 2016. She was my dream car. Like, I wanted a Range Rover so bad, and I literally remember being like, I couldn't believe I owned a Range Rover. I was just like, I still love her, and I think that's why it took me so long to, like, let her go, because. And then she was like the older style box car. I think she was the last style that was like squared. Range Rovers are a little shaped differently now.
Yeah.
I love the boxy cars like that.
So I remember getting her and I was just like so obsessed with her until this day. Like I think, she is such a nice car. She's still like visually a really pretty car. And I see her in the streets. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's such a queen. Like I really, yeah, like I love her still. But I think it's time in general. It's been since 2016 that I had her. I paid her off years ago. Like I've had her for so long.
She went through a lot.
I think in general, Range Rover is purchasing that car. They did. I have heard how Range Rovers are a little more difficult to take care of.
Okay.
I think in general, and I had got her. She was not like a carro del año or anything, so maybe she'd already also had some issues. Okay. So I ended up going through like this big issue with her where I was not giving her like proper care.
She didn't have an oil change in years.
Like why?
I'm just a girl.
Okay, literally. No, let me explain because I remember one time just bringing it up and it was kind of like almost a thing where I was like, oh, like we didn't take care of her. And so we ended up had to have her for like maybe 3 years at that point. We ended up getting a Volkswagen. And I feel like when you have 2 cars, you always will prioritize one more than the other. Like, right? Am I right? Like, I feel like at least with me and Brian, like when we got the Volkswagen, we just started driving the Volkswagen a lot. And then also, Volkswagen wasn't using up as much gas as the Range Rover. It was just like, and then it was also our comfort car. I think the other car became our comfort car. And we still
neglected her after a while. You were just like, we're not driving her.
Yeah, we had a new car. And like, obviously when you have a new car, you're like, ooh, I want to drive her around. So she was literally abandoned. And I remember I used to still live here at that time. Yeah. And I remember the Range Rover was just parked here for like,
she's still here.
And she's still here.
She's been here
for a really long time. And once we started driving her again, I remember we used to get a lot of like, I think in general, it would always say something was like wrong with it. And to some point, I remember she needed an oil change and the engine was like completely messed up at that point. But this is a problem that even if we would, she was like, yeah. And the thing is like when we would like drive her around, like we would try to drive her around here and there, but we never paid attention. Like we never like really, we stopped caring for it. That it completely like got so like worn down. It's so funny because like literally it became a whole thing with me and Brian where like, how did you not give it oil changes? It was like literally something that was like, oh my God, this car literally like got dried to the bone.
Like that bitch went through it with no maintenance, no food, nothing.
With no maintenance, nothing.
Starving.
One of the things that I never getting the other car because people were like, how do you like just drive a car with no maintenance? Like no, a lot of it had to do because we had another car. That was another big thing that I never mentioned. But we had gotten another car, so that car like literally randomly we would use it.
It was also like your first. Well, no, it wasn't your first car, but it was like.
It was my second car.
I feel like you also didn't know much about like maintenance.
Yeah, and even then, and I do remember Brian randomly taking it to get oil changes, of course. But I think like one of the main things, like truly, was getting another car because that car, like I truly like abandoned it. It was there for like a while, and then by the time it actually needed like real maintenance, like like the engine's actually like messing up. I would like avoid it. I was like, ugh, like I have to take it.
Cars though, they will last you a long time if you just really maintain it.
Yes, absolutely.
It was just really a lot of lack of maintenance.
Lack of maintenance. So because of that, my car went through a lot of shit. I ended up literally like spending an arm and a leg. We got the entire engine like completely dissected, replaced.
It's okay to say like, you learn from it. Like
we definitely learned from it. We have definitely learned from it. She went through a lot.
And it got to the point that it was just like there was so much money being invested into.
There was so much money that I had to invest in this car
that it wasn't even worth it anymore.
But you know what's crazy? I literally invested every bit to it.
Because she died. Like the car is literally like it's just a shell.
No,
her organs are failing. Like
she
needs new organs.
But let me tell you, the last thing that I needed to do, because I completely actually like when I got my shit together and I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm losing like the car of my dreams. Like what is going on? Like why did I abandon it for so long? Like it was literally here so many years. Like I even took it to my other house, and then when we ended up moving, like to some point, I guess
also, like all the sun damage.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you too. I used to park my car a lot, especially when I was not using it. I used to park it like towards the back, And Karina lives like literally like it's like ranch style. So there is like, you know, certain animals that will like literally mess your car up.
Like chew stuff up.
Like chew stuff up. So it wasn't just the oil change. There was like multiple things. Like, oh my God, like the animals got to my car. They chewed up the entire bottom. Like I'm telling you guys, like it was deeper than the oil change. Like I don't think people realize it was way deeper than that. My car was just like back to back. Couldn't recover, girl.
I don't even know how the fuck, because like none of my cars have gotten, like that's crazy.
I don't know what was it about my car that literally was being chewed the fuck up under, girl. Can you imagine your car being chewed up under? Like after replacing the entire engine, like you can imagine I was so fed up at that point. That's why I have not driven that car for so long. I ended up getting everything fixed under. Literally, when I tell you I spent so much on it, and people would tell me like, just trade it in already. Like just trade it in. And I was like, do you know how much hard work I've had to put in this car to get fixed? Like I'm not letting this car go, baby.
And then they were like not giving you shit for it.
They were giving me nothing for it.
Because she's a shell.
No, I want to like actually like tell you guys, her engine is like brand freaking new. The whole wires, everything got fixed. So the very last thing that had to be done was reboot the system. Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel it for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Girl, make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this May with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. New month, new me, baby. I got fitness goals to reach. Absolutely, mama. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Sounds like a full course meal to me, baby. It's giving 5-star restaurant, and I'm here for it. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. Filet mignon in 2 minutes.
Wow.
No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. I'm here for this. It's giving 5-star dining. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Listen, I'm trying to increase my protein intake, and this is perfect. And it sounds delicious, girl. I'm here for the high protein. Here for the filet mignon, the salmon, baby, the shrimp. I want all of it. Girl, I'm hungry just talking about this. Head to factormeals.com/chins50 and use code chins50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code chins50 at factormeals.com/chins50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
She needed a resurrection. Like she literally
got resurrected.
She is literally brand new organs.
Yeah, now. She has a new engine and everything. She's amazing. She's ready to drive. The only thing that was left, you guys, was rebooting the engine. Sorry.
The system?
Not the system. So she's been just sitting there. She's been sitting there for years, and I just got so fed up.
I think
I
was just sun damage too that's going on. Years just sitting there.
I told my mom,
she's like in the blazing sun.
Yeah, she's in the blazing sun. And people always see that Range Rover, they're like, what's going on with that car? I'm like, I gave up on it a long time ago. And I literally told my mom. So I had this talk because I've been like trying to go car shopping, and I'm telling you, it's been really hard for me to let go of this Rover because I knew like how much I spent on it, and not just that. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, I get attached to things a lot because it was like my dream car. I still see that car in the streets, Karina, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice car. Like when she's all cleaned up and everything, she's such a cute car. And it was really hard for me to let it go. Like literally, I had moments prior where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like literally. Here's the thing, you guys, I was so fed up with constantly like trying to get it fixed that even I know people are like, you just had to get the computer system set up. That's all you had to do. Like, yeah, that's all I had to do. But guess what? I was so fed up at that point. I don't know what was it, procrastination. At that point, I was just like, oh my God, like I'm so over her.
You were over it already.
So recently, I really thought to myself, I'm like, okay, we either just get this computer thing done,
or like I just gotta move on to a different car. Like I've had it for so long. Like I've been craving a new car. Like truly, I've been wanting a new car, and I haven't driven the Rover in years. It's literally been sitting here.
You learned so much, you know, like I'm sure with your new car, you're gonna make sure that bitch is up to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, even our Volkswagen, we've never missed an oil change.
I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, I must be really good at my maintenance because my very first car is still being driven around right now. Like
that's amazing.
And like she has no issues whatsoever. Like,
well, even my first car, Karina, like yeah, I would probably go like a couple months without like doing oil changes, but we would still do oil changes on it. Yeah. I feel like a big part of it was getting another car and completely just like never using it.
And you know what it is, Mayra, is that with a Volkswagen, you know, where you got it, you have like the maintenance that they're reminding you about with that car. I feel like sometimes depending on.
I also had got my Rover. I didn't get it from the actual Range Rover dealer when I bought it. It was like off another car,
just randomly somewhere where I've noticed that if it's not like the dealer that makes that car, they're not reminding you like that you need your oil changes and stuff. Like when, and that's what I've learned because I've seen like my parents or like Luis and stuff get cars where it's not necessarily from like the dealer.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there's always fucking an issue. My yard is literally a junkyard to all of our family's fucked up vehicles.
By me.
Luis had his car back here for years, and Jasmine, I think, barely is fixing it up so she could like try to drive it around. His truck was here. Your car's been here sitting there for so long now too. It's literally a junkyard, even.
So
it's crazy.
No, yeah. And I think a lot has to do. That's why I'm saying like it was not just an oil change. I had a lot of issues with that car in general. I really did. And yeah, I really do feel like because even like our other car, we get oil changes. Even my Rover, yes. I do remember like literally physically going to get its check and everything, of course. But I do feel like it was a mix of maybe it already had issues, and not just that. When we did get the other car, yeah, we literally stopped driving it for years. I think
also, Mayra, like, and I love this about my dad. He is like, he does love to say some coin, which I do love that about him.
Yeah.
But, you know, growing up, he always taught us, like, you know, to get your car, don't go to these dealers. Go here because they're already used and they have new parts and stuff. But when you do that, I've noticed, at least in our situation, like with all my brothers and sisters, like my parents, like they want to go specifically somewhere to get a better deal.
Yeah.
And when it's not at the actual like place, the dealer that makes them, a lot of times like the car already had issues beforehand and it was like replaced, and now it's gonna have issues sooner.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like I have never like I think about it, I'm like, I think when you get it at the dealer, even if it's used, but get it at the dealer that makes that car.
I had too many issues where I'm like, okay, I know like where we messed up, but also I'm like, okay, there was just some things that I'm like, okay, it was just too many back-to-back
because I bet you, Mayra, if you got it at Rover, even if it was already a used car, it would have not had like all those issues. Like they actually would be on top of it. Like you have an oil change you need to do, you need this, you need that. They take your car in, and every time sometimes they see like the dumbest things and they want to replace like the dumbest crap that's not necessary, but they will like evaluate your car or like take a look at it like every time you take it in.
No, but yeah, I feel like at this point, the whole Rover, like even y'all know it's like a whole inside joke. Like what happened? How the hell did you not give it oil changes? And like truly, I think it had to do a lot with that. And like I said, I feel like in general,
you never thought about selling it, like just fixing it up and selling it to get something back?
I did, because I already fixed it up. Like I already fixed it up. My mom, okay, so this is what happened. I don't want to let it go because I did want to keep it in the family because it really, like, I still love the car. Like, I know it's not mine anymore. Like, I literally handed the key down to my mom last week. But I was thinking about it because I did think about it. I'm like, okay, I think it's time to get a new car
because my mom's car is giving her issues.
If I'm honest, the Volkswagen, like, it's always felt like it's Brian's car because, like, realistically, it was his car and the Range Rover was mine
and my mom's car is
so I feel like I'm literally carless this whole time. Like, I know we have the Volkswagen, like, yes, it's both of our car, I totally get it, but it's always felt like it's more Brian's because like for me it was my Range Rover, the Volkswagen with Brian's. So for me, I feel like I've been carless in a way where like I do wish I had my own car where like if Brian's out, I don't have to worry about it and wait for him to get home, or vice versa, where we literally have individually our own car. First world problems, I know, y'all, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, the Range Rover always felt like it was mine and the Volkswagen always felt like it was Brian's. So I was thinking, I was like, oh, like, I really want to get a car. Like, you know, I don't know, like, the Range Rover has just been sitting there. Like, I know I have to do this to it, but I'm not like, there's no like urging me to get it fixed because I'm probably also over it already, right?
Yeah.
So I started thinking, I was telling Brian, I'm like, okay, well, this is my dream car. Like, now this is what I want to go for. what do I do with this car? Like, do I just go really get it fixed? Do I sell it? Like, do I exchange it? I already know that they're not going to give me anything for it. Because that's how it is with cars. Like, that's how it is. They only give you a certain amount when you trade them in. I was like, no, I already know, like, how much I put into it. Okay. I would literally rather just keep it in the family. And I just called up my mom. I was like, I'm like, that Range Rover has been sitting there. All you need to do is literally get the computer system fixed. That's all you need to do.
Because my mom's car also, she bought it. My dad wanted. Oh, so I got my mom's car back in like probably 2016.
I think it was.
And I remember like, you know, my dad was like, we're going here because it's a lot cheaper here. We got the car there, but now it's having issues. Yeah. And I'm sick of this house becoming a junkyard for cars. So you know what I'm going to tell you, Mom? Okay, you're going to take Mayra's car, this car, I'm going to fix it and sell it because I might as well get some money back for it. Because, like, honestly, like, I feel like we all get excited about, like, when our cars mess up in this family, like, we get excited about getting a new car, and then the cars just sit here, and I'm like, at this point, I'm about to start telling everybody, if you going to leave that car here, baby, I'm about to fix it and sell it and get some fucking coin out of that shit. Queen. Because why are they just sitting around? Like, come on, y'all. First of all,
for free. Imagine.
First of all, like, let's talk about leasing cars because that's smart as fuck. In these situations, how we got all these cars breaking down and shit, like, and they're just sitting around.
That's how I felt about my car, Queen. I was like, I already put so much money. She got a new engine. She's fixed up completely. Why is she sitting there? So I call up my mom. I'm like, Mom, like, this is literally, like, that car is literally in great condition. Yeah, she's dusty as hell because she's been there for years. She got a broken light, because I don't know what happened. She's been sitting there for years, but I'm like, she's literally fixed up completely. Like, this is not a car where like the engine's messed up. No, everything's fixed up. You just need someone to reboot the system, and that's all. Yeah. So of course she was like, hell yeah. And she's a cute ass car. My mom's so excited. She's like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna get it. She's gonna change the lights. In general, she wants to do all these things to it. I'm like, Queen, as you should. Yep. So she's a Range Rover queen now.
Queen.
And I'm happy because I know she's someone that's actually going to appreciate, take care of it. My mom's very, like, I could see her having it, like, all cleaned up, all cute, like, being a bad queen driving it. Would,
yeah.
So I'm excited to see her, like, actually, like, use it because I feel bad, too. I'm like, she's literally sitting there. I put so much money in it. I'd rather have someone drive it. And if it's somebody, it would be somebody in the family because I still get to see her from a distance. I'm like, hey, Queen, like, I still have a connection with her. So I was not willing to give her up, and that's why she stayed in the family.
Wow.
End of story. But let me tell you,
car shopping.
I'm car shopping and I'm a little bit on the edge, confused. I don't know what I want. Okay, so I've done the Range Rover already. That was an absolute nightmare, but I also know like it had to do a lot with maintenance, of course. And also we've learned getting them at like these random dealers. Like, who knows what problem this car had, whatever. I've learned a lot, you guys, okay? Trust. I've learned a lot. So I was telling Karina, I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, I love Range Rovers, I do, but I also, and I've even seen Karina's car. Her car is beautiful. Karina has a Range Rover, absolutely beautiful. But like let's go back to that style, the box style, right?
You like the box style.
I remember
you are like a G-Wagon girl.
I'm an SUV girl. Mm-hmm. I love my SUVs. I loved even like the Range Rover. I love like the height of it. Like I feel like
I love those too. It gives me family vibes, like family cars.
I just love like even like the Volkswagen. It's an SUV. I feel like the car. I just feel really low in the cars. I don't explain it.
I like SUVs too.
I love SUVs, and one of the main reasons why I had gotten that model was because it was still the box style. Surprisingly, I'm really into the box style, but I've never looked into Jeeps because I know it's also like a box car. I've never looked into it, but my dream car now is a G-Wagon, and I've been looking into it. Obviously, I even went to a dealership recently, and they were showing me, but like, oh my God, they're so expensive. Like,
they're so expensive.
Del año, like for the year, you guys, extremely expensive. Like, I was humbled when I walked in. I was like, oh my God,
how much?
Girl, I was looking at a freaking car that was over 200,000. I was like, baby. When I say I want a G-Wagon, I'm not thinking those prices.
I feel like when it comes to luxury cars that much, where you're talking like $200K,
insane.
Just fucking lease the car.
Insane.
Because by the time you're finished paying it off, you're gonna want a new car anyway.
Well, first of all, I'm not getting a $200
200,000.
Imagine
I can't even say the number, baby. That's God saying you can't afford it. Imagine. Okay, girl, this car was 200,000. And let me tell you guys, when I'm looking at these cars, right? Like I know, like going in it, I knew G wagons were expensive. Absolutely.
Damn, they're
I
expensive.
know they're expensive. But when and I went to the Mercedes.
That's
I
a
forget
whole
that
ass,
like
the down
G-Wagons,
payment, Mayra. The
Mercedes.
down payment on a 200,000 car
No,
has to be
it's
like
just not
40K,
happening, baby.
A damn house.
I
down
don't
payment.
care if I had it like that. I'm not getting a $200,000 car. Period. It's just not happening. But the thing with me is, I really want a G-Wagon. And I'm like, okay, there has to be like different kinds. Like, I don't have to get it of the year. Clearly, I mean, that's a freaking obvious. I'm not getting a G-Wagon of the year. Absolutely not. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can get like an older style. That's maybe a few years older. That would not be so expensive.
Ooh.
She's obviously still an expensive car, but I feel like there's ways of doing it where like
yeah, they're expensive.
you can get your dream car without getting like the actual year of it.
That's
So
crazy.
I guess my question is, okay, so I've been like looking into it. I know like Range Rover is a very family car. I do want a family car, obviously, with like Noah's car
I
seat
love
in the
my
back.
Range Rover.
I'm thinking in the future too. Also, you mentioned leasing. I know they say with luxury cars, leasing is smart, and that's when I noticed. I was like, well, maybe if years
I mean,
ago,
because I look back, like I bought my car, but I'm like, should I have just leased? Because
yeah, I think about that.
I'm
with
already
my
thinking
Rover.
of getting a new one, and I'm like, I haven't paid her off.
Yeah.
So now I have to stay with her.
And they say the smart thing about leasing, because okay, so my Range Rover, I own it. I paid it off years ago, but that is one thing I think about. I'm like, well, if I had leased it, I would have moved on to maybe a newer Range Rover or just a newer vehicle in general.
Yep.
I learned a lot from that. And with our Volkswagen, we actually do lease it. We had gotten a first style. It was like a red car, and then we went up to the SUV. So that one we've been leasing. And do I see a difference? No, because here I own the Range Rover that's super old that I'm still eventually had to pass down because now I want a new car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess leasing is smart depending, but
With cars, because obviously when you hear leasing, you're like, oh, you don't own it. But with cars, I feel like it's worth it. Because everyone's trying to switch out the cars every few years anyway. With a house, yes, I do understand how leasing is a waste of money because when you own a house, like eventually you could sell the house, and the house is growing in value every year.
Yeah.
For the most part. When you lease a car, it's gonna lose its value regardless. Like I feel with G-Wagons, I feel like they do hold their value.
Yes.
Most cars though, like lose their value no matter what.
Yeah.
And like after a few years, you're trying to replace it anyway, so you might as well.
Yeah, I was
lease.
on Reddit, and because I'm really trying to do my research, because I'm like, okay, do I want a Range Rover? Do I want a G-Wagon? And they did say Mercedes in general, because I forget that like a G-Wagon is like, Mercedes-Benz. I have heard that like Mercedes-Benz is a lot more reliable when it comes to like the cars in general. So like I probably would have less issues with a G-Wagon than a Range Rover. So I was like, okay, that's a good note to consider what I went through with that car. Imagine. But yeah, I think right now I'm just like in between. Like I definitely want a family car. I want a family car that I love visually how it looks, but it's a family car where we have enough space. And I was looking at the G-Wagons, the ones I was looking at. I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe I need to go into my Range Rover and see how it looks from the back. I feel like it was like a lot more spacious because I was looking at these cars and they look a little tinier from the back. I'm like, am I tripping a little bit?
I don't know, girl. What like I think I don't even.
I mean, I would think Range Rovers naturally, because G-Wagons are so boxy. Like I could see how it'd be like smaller space in a Range Rover.
Actually, I have no idea. Well, there's different models too. There's some that are a lot more spacious than others.
Yeah.
So it just depends. G-Wagons, I don't know. I don't have one of those, but
yeah. And why G-Wagons, I think they are so popular. Also, they don't change like the image of it. It doesn't change much. It's still very unique to like from the beginning of the days. Like you can literally look at a G-Wagon that's like a couple things have changed.
So why get one in the año? Just get one from years ago. They look almost all the fucking same anyway.
They almost do.
So like, what are the perks of a 2024 versus a 2020?
Well, I think the style, because I'm really looking into it. The style, I think, I don't know if it's 2018 and below or 2019 and below. The G-Wagons don't have cup holders. What the fuck?
It has like a little net where you put your drink. Because
A
they're
net?
like that's how like because I guess these cars
Nah,
like
bitch, that would be the deal breaker for me.
I'm like, baby, what?
100K extra for a fucking cup holder.
right.
I'm sorry, I'm so confused.
I know.
And you really, when you think about it, you know, just having this topic, because we're like having this topic, and in the back of my head, I'm like, these luxurious cars, like,
Crazy.
and you think about it, you're like, doesn't Selena Gomez drive like a Honda or something? Or we're tripping?
As she
Is it a
should,
Honda
queen.
or what is it? Or like a Nissan? It's like an old
Iconic.
car, and it's like whatever's getting to you to point A, from point A to point B.
Oh yeah.
If you drive like very long miles,
Yeah.
I think it's smart to have like a cheaper car, because like the, you know.
No,
I
let
mean,
me
like,
just clarify something.
I mean, I have my car too. I totally get that. I just thought it just popped into my head.
No, let me
I was
clarify
like,
something. Me and Creed are not materialistic like that. We're not the kinds getting freaking designer bags and stuff. Like, trust me, I probably have a couple designer bags that are my
Same.
go-to, but we're not like the kind to like. Trust me, I think for me, it's
I
just
think
more
everyone
like
has
a
different-
dream car,
different-
and I'm like, oh my god, I've
yes,
always wanted this.
100%.
But like, it's definitely like I totally get it. It's so like, girl, touch some grass. Like, baby, what? 100K for another fucking cup holder? Like, it's crazy. Imagine.
200K for a car is crazy to me.
No, it is crazy, and I wouldn't do it. Like, even if
it's
I
an investment,
qualified for
I
it,
mean,
I
they
would
s-
not do it.
They say that they're a good investment. G wagons do hold a lot of value, so I get that. I get it. I do.
But yeah, I don't know. I've just been wondering what car I want, girl.
I think you should get your car, because this one's been sitting here for years now. And you've basically
I
carless.
gave my mom her key, and I was like, "Girl, do what you want with it." So she's just gonna get the computer system fixed, which really shouldn't be a lot. Like, it really shouldn't. I was like, just get that fixed, and she's excited for it. But yeah, I just feel like for myself, you know, with like little things, like if Brian's running errands or vice versa, or like even days I want to come film the podcast, like I have to bring Brian's car, and I almost feel like, oh my god, like, well, what are Noah and Brian gonna do without a car? Like, let's say they do need the car to go somewhere. Worst comes to worst, they need it for like something urgent. Like, I'm over here with a car. Like, instead of me having my own car where I can drive around, or like just anything, like anything. It's always hard when you're sharing a car, because you really have to work around each other's schedule.
Yeah,
So
that's difficult.
yeah, I'll let you guys know
She's car shopping. We'll see
where
what
I
we
end
end
up going. What
I
I
want to
get.
go with you, Mayra. Like, let me go with you.
I
when
wanted
go
to
look
take
at
you
cars.
last time, but it was just so spontaneous. I was like, I'm just gonna go look at them.
Just let me know. Like, let me know when you go, and I'll pull up.
Yeah. My only thing is with these car dealers, like, I don't want a car of the year. Like, I couldn't even tell. I was like, I walked into this Mercedes-Benz place, and I was like, I really thought, I'm like, they're gonna have different like years, like, right? And he was just showing me like carros del año. Like, I'm telling you, there was a car that was like 2 something. I was like, how do I tell you I cannot afford this? Like, I literally, like, how do I tell you?
No, yeah.
Like, you know, so
200
I was
of
just
that,
there like, oh, and in my head I was already like, OMG, this is like not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm not looking for a carro
Why
del
didn't you
año.
just ask him, like, do you got something older?
Yeah, maybe we should go again, and I'll just be honest, like, look, like, I have a budget. This is crazy. Let me know when you get another car.
They're like, Honda's across the street.
Right? We got
No.
Honda over there, baby. You
No,
see her?
they have to have options, Mayra. Just tell them, like, you know, I'm actually looking for a used car.
Mhm.
You know, like, do you guys have anything under 2020?
Yeah,
Below.
we'll see.
Do you have anything under 6 figures
Yeah.
by any chance?
Right? That's crazy. No, but there is cars that are like that you can get at a more reasonable price that are just a couple years older.
Yeah.
You know, or I maybe I do need to go to Land Rover, and that's the beautiful thing about the Range Rover, that I probably could get a carro del año, and I would be set, baby.
I
So
love
that's
my Range
hard.
Rover.
That's how freaking expensive G-Wagons are, that I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'm gonna get an older style, being realistic,
Why don't you
because
look
they're
at-
so expensive.
oh, no, I was gonna say, like-
or I could get a Range Rover that I actually really love, and is probably brand spanking new.
I love my Range
in
Rover
my budget.
so much, Mayra. I do.
So maybe we should go one of these days, girl.
Let's go.
Maybe distract this juice cleanse and just be in the
Should
car
go.
dealer
I'm
all
so
day.
down.
But yeah, I'll keep you updated. Damn, we've been chatting for a bit, Queen.
We have been chatting for a while, girl.
But I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday or Friday whenever you're tuning in, Queen. As always, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate,
subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys comment and subscribe too, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.